Timecodes.
All right. Welcome, guys.
Welcome to the podcast. I'm with Kovaly. Hey, this is something new. I'm so excited to be doing this, to be honest. How about you? Are you excited?
I'm very excited. First and foremost, before we get into more of detail of how this derive, uh, guys, welcome to the Worldly Integration Podcast with my man.
Hey, you see the shirt? Hold on, can you see the shirt? It says Life A1. Just so y'all get that, the shirt says Life A1. Because it's an acronym. Well, most of it's an acronym. It means live young forever, which means don't feel like you're too old to do certain things. Obviously, some things have an age limit, but basically what I'm saying is if you have a goal in life, go after it. And the A1, that just means your life is the best.
Your co-host, Kovaly Kavv, aka Coco Bead, Pentagon, Ratchet, artistics, and just a visual mood creator. So these are your hosts for the Worldly Integration Podcast. So guys, thank you for tuning in. We're gonna be, you know, conversing with you guys because you guys are our audience. We starting doing this and we spend the past 48 hours pretty much deflecting on how to go with the ideas and I pretty much trying to get life a1 to really expedite the ideas so we can actually come to where we are at right now. So thank you guys, welcome.
Hey, you welcome. Want to say thank you. He said he was waiting on me to expedite the idea. Look, this, to be honest, this is a lot of him. This is all his setup. This is his place. So, therefore, hey, this is a teamwork effort. I just kind of came with an idea, and it turns out it fit something that he wanted to do anyway. So, we just making something happen that was a long time coming.
Yeah, guys. So worldly integration. So even to expand on that idea, life. While we were on the phone, we were discussing when you brought the idea to me, and I was like, "Wow, that's interesting." And I told you my portion of it, and you were like, "Oh, wow, like I didn't even do well on those part of it yet." So hey, let me hang up, and I'll call you later, and we didn't actually hang up because I was like, "Yo, no, like, what do you think next? Like, what are surnames that you think of?" So throughout that conversation prolonged it to the point that their name Worldly Integration came out of those conversations with their hanging up.
Facts. Yeah, we was just trying to think of a creative name. He already had a creative name, so I was like, at first I didn't want to try to make something up on top of his, but we came to an agreement. And our agreement, we was like, you know what? This the worldly integration podcast. Because you know why? This is integration of all things in the world, like positive. We try to keep it positive, but just inclusive of all types of people. So that's why it's worldly integration. We're not limited to just one types of people or one types of topics of conversation. Try to expand it, make it entertaining. So, hey, we appreciate y'all for tuning in, and we're gonna let y'all know, hey, this is just the beginning. So,
And if you're not tuned in yet, please tune in. You can subscribe, Kovaly Kavv, or what's your channels or your. And we're gonna have all of these tags below as well. But eventually we're gonna see how this goes, and then if you guys love it, we love it already. So there is no other choice.
you can see Life A1. I already said it earlier. So you're gonna see all the tags below. You can see all the content I like to create. You can see his art. We both try to stay on the scene here in the city, We in St. Louis right now, but just any city, if we pop up, we try to stay on the scene. You know, people like what we do, so we're gonna keep it going.
Yeah, speaking of St. Louis, man, yeah, so even like us being here sitting down, because literally, like I stated prior, this was 48 hours ideas that I really made sure that we executed and we had it going without even tiptoeing around dreams and ideas. And I was like, yo, let's do it. Right? And speaking of St. Louis, guys, guess the temperature today. What? How's the weather today in St. Louis? Because you had to travel up here, and like the cold. Like I know it's cold, but St. Louis cold
Yeah.
is. I got the ice box where my heart used to be.
So
I'm so cold. I'm so cold. I'm so cold.
if I recall correctly, when I looked at my phone and checked the temperature, it said it's hella cold. That was the temperature outside. It said extra cold, wear hella coats. That's what it said literally. No, I'm joking. But for real though, it did. I think today the high was like 3 degrees, maybe 5 degrees. You know, we'd be lucky if we got 5 degrees. But you know the song that they say? They say I, something about wishing for a white Christmas. You know what I mean? They won't snow on the ground on Christmas, so nature just trying to catch up with us so it can be festive for the holidays. Traditional, I guess.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. As well, like I think this is actually birthing Kovaly, my little good guy over here, pretty boy over here. So I think this was like his first like winter experience, like winter. So actually, like when we went outside, like just seeing like the white snow, the flakes, I unleashed him, and he just like ran around. Next thing you know, like his feet were cold and just shivering. I had to like carry him like a baby back,
Like a baby.
right back to the apartment. So I said like it was so cold for even myself. The wind was blowing this way, and I had to walk backward just so the wind doesn't blow in my face.
It's definitely that cold outside.
Man, extremely cold to the point like my facial structures felt like I had a Botox.
Facts. Freeze part of your face. I froze my feet just walking from the Uber to the front door. It was definitely cold, but here's the thing though, even though it's cold, as long as it ain't like icy or snowy on the ground, I don't really try to let things stop me from doing not necessarily just things I want to do, but things I need to be doing and maybe want to be a part of. So the cold, it's a factor, but I also feel like it's a mindset. Don't set yourself up. Don't go outside unprepared. You know what I'm saying? And don't spend too much outside. Too much time outside. You don't want to freeze yourself to death, but don't let it stop you from getting where you need to
Ice
be.
skating,
Facts.
perhaps.
I wish I could ice skate.
Snowboarding.
I would-
Because those are the only thing you can do during this type of weathers.
Sledding.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you cannot neglect those factors that these weathers need to exist for those enjoyments. So we make things out of things that
We make things
happens
out of things.
in life,
Facts.
and we capitalize on it.
Capital
So
knowledge.
certain people may not see it that way, but it's other people that really enjoy going out there when it's snowing. You know what I mean? Because I remember B, I used to go out there with my tongue out when the snowflake was coming.
I don't know if you should do
Thank
that.
you. They didn't make that into a sport.
We got more pollution in the city. I don't know if that's a good idea. But hey,
It's a blessing from the highest power. Like what did NLE Chopper say when it rained? He went out there.
Chopper.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
way to say proper.
What'd he say?
Nah, cause he was raining, and I think there was a video that went viral online, and he was like, "Yo, like whenever it rain, like you need to go outside and just like embrace it, let it all in. So it's like the tears of the universe dropping on you. So I feel like it's simultaneous to snow. So I mean, hey, if you pour it on you, it's coming. We don't know what it derived from, but shit, it's it's part of all of that. And embrace it, cause it's all a mindset, as you stated. Yeah, it was extremely cold outside, but that did not, refrain any situation for us being here to create this. You see what I'm saying? So without that, we probably would be out doing some ratchet ass shit.
And you know how we love the ratchet ass shit. Do we love it or do we just do it? Cause before we get into our topics today, I guess this could be an intro to our topics. Is being on that ratchet ass shit. What would you consider that ratchet ass shit?
I think ratchet ass shit is probably mean like a gentleman being irresponsible.
Interesting.
They say, hey, I have it. Why would I care? Hey, let's blow it.
Okay.
So we getting ratchet because we feel liberated.
Yeah. I feel like being ratchet is that, and also um, just participating in certain behaviors that don't necessarily, they're not bad, but they're not necessarily just like I'm trying to put this in words. I can't say that they don't benefit the people around us, but at the same time, it's like enjoyment that's very temporary. If that make any sense.
Very temptational. It's like a temptation. That's why I say like it's like foolishness. It's like that's ratchet. Like it's a temptation that you just it's a temptation that just like do you do it or do you not do it? And overall, we have another battery. The guy's checking it with us, so you can swap that. So one of our light just went out. So over there in the middle, there is another battery. So just plug that other one in. So I feel as it's temptation. Everything is temptation. Like in order to be a relationship, you really have to formulate yourself to be with that person in a way that you don't attempt to go with the temptations that are channeling your achievement, because that is an achievement. You know what I'm saying? Being in a relationship, that's an achievement. But the other temptation can excel somebody's ego if things are not going well. We have the other one charging, the one you unplug, you plug it in for charge up, please. So I think being ratchet is just means being liberated. Temptation, if you say fuck it, that temptation is gonna be there. But if you're able to say fuck it, then you're being ratchet, and that goes for any kind of sex. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, if you feel like fuck it, it's fuck it. Like you being ratchet, yo.
Being ratchet.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you gotta, surpass that mentality so you can go back to your 9 to 5 and keep sharp, so you don't have to, get into any altercation with others. Because
It's a form of release, is what you're saying.
yes.
I ain't gonna lie, sometimes.
Just don't do it in a malicious way, okay?
Facts. And don't do it too much. Do it enough.
Yes, adequately.
Yeah. But that's anything you do, like.
Even drinking too much water could cause overdose, and that's just anything that you overdo.
True. That is definitely true. And getting into one of our topics, um, I felt like maybe at some point in my life I was overdoing certain things, which led me to a certain way of living that some parts are really good and some parts are, not so proud of. And I think now that I'm a little older, I know that you have to have a balance to get things done. So I'm trying to find that balance every day and not like fall deep into the getting ratchet all the time. And what I mean by my form of ratchet is just, not caring about other aspects of my life and only doing one certain thing. So trying to trying to get that focus now, if that makes any sense to my audience out there, to our audience.
Nah, that's true, man. You gotta have some like self internal study within your own time, because I feel like that's what makes life, right? Only you know yourself and you move based on those frequencies. So, overall, hey, you create the world with your mind, but if you overdwell on it to the point that you're not able to converse about it, and it becomes something that's in a shell, then a chicken can never become an egg. Or an egg can never become a chicken.
I think I get what he's trying to say though. If you don't properly do what you need to be doing, you can't mature, you can't grow. So that brings me to our first topic today. I know we 15, 16 minutes into the podcast, but it is what it is. Um, it's about having a broke mindset. So when I say broke mindset, what's like the first thing that comes to your mind, Kovaly, when you hear just the phrase broke mindset?
A broke mindset could be somebody that's like really like have a mindset of like, hey, like get rich or die trying.
You think that's a broken mindset?
It could be, because it could be like an energy base of like, hey, like get rich or die trying. So it's like, hey, like I'm broke, so I have a broke mindset. So whatever I do, maybe they see it as it's nonsense, but it's like get rich or die trying. So the only way for me to get rich is trying. So it's like my mindset is broken to society by the way I maneuver.
Yeah, that's interesting. When I hear broke mindset, I think like someone who doesn't believe that they can earn more or get more, whether it's money or relationships. And I also think like someone uh, who doesn't necessarily want to do better for themselves. That's what I think broke mindset is. Because I've been a person, like I said, I'm not, I haven't. So there's a trying to get my words out. Long story short, I've never been in like a super bad position, but there was at some point in my life where I was very ashamed, and I was in a what most people probably would consider a bad position. So when I was in that bad position, it was just I didn't have much money, and I wasn't like working a lot to try to get a lot of money, but I still had things and people around me to motivate me to keep going and to motivate me to try to get better. So when I hear the phrase broke mindset, my brain can relate to it probably a little different than your brain can relate to it. One is because um, do I associate broke mindset with the amount of money you have? I say yes and no, because when I was in that state of being, in that state of mindset, I felt like uh, I felt like I wanted more, but I wasn't quite. I felt like I was supposed to just get it. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like um, that I needed to work super hard to get it, or that I was like I deserved it in some type of way. So I'm like, why don't I have it? You know what I mean? So I felt like that was kind of like a form of a broke mindset, because instead of like thinking that I'm an abundant person and I can just create more things and create more avenues for myself, at that time I kind of felt like that whatever it is that I was supposed to have, or whatever it is that I wanted to have, that I was supposed to have it at that time, and I wasn't being allowed to have it by the universe, or I wasn't Like it was basically, I felt like it was being kept away from me. So I felt like that's how my mind relates to the phrase broke mindset. Like, so now I am a little bit older, and I know that it's more than just working a job. It's about being abundant in the things that are in the way that you move and the things that you do, and just to be abundant in multiple categories, not just money. So that's like how I've grown with that phrase. But I'm still learning about it myself because I'm still currently, even though we're doing this podcast, trying to get out of that mindset and trying to stay out of that mindset, which is that feeling of not having enough or feeling like I'm not able to do enough or something like that. Like, how does that relate to you?
It broke my sense to me. I feel what you're saying because I feel like and I like the fact that you know, I'm watching right now. No, just read that one I'm watching right now.
Who? Oh,
We got. Don't worry. But yeah, broke mindset pretty much like correlate to and I like what you're saying. I've known you. We've known each other for quite a while. Uh, like a broke mindset mean like like you don't have to act broke. Like you don't have to act like you don't have domestic training. You know what I'm saying? You don't have proper education from home from your mother. So it's like even whatever the universe give you as a challenge, that has nothing to do with how you treat one another. So if you retain their moral, it still allow you to maneuver in places that are full of opportunities. So then you don't become a broke mindset anymore. So I think that's what you stated, if I think I understand correctly.
That's what I stated. I was just trying to see how it related to you, because at the time where I wasn't making a lot of money, I'm still not rich now. So, but I was making even less money than I have now. So at that time, uh, the one thing that kind of kicked in that I was happy about was, all right. I was like, you know what? I don't have that much money right now at all. But you know what I can do? I'm really good at talking to people. I'm really good at hanging out with people, and I'm really good at building friendships, even if they don't last very long. I'm very good at getting something done during our period of time of being friends. So I had to. It's like when you go blind. It's like when one trait goes away, your other senses kick in. It's like a form of survival. Otherwise, you can't survive. So to me, broke mindset is like, okay, don't let. Okay, so let's say something isn't working for you, or something like whatever it is, it may be a mental issue. Something is not clicking in a certain category in your life. Don't let that one thing bring you down. Heighten your other senses that you do have, make those stronger, and don't be in the broken mindset of uh, thinking that you can't overcome your situation. So that's something that even to this day I still have to remind myself of, because if you've never had it and then it happens to you, then you kind of like, I don't know, a constant recovery or something. I don't know.
As far as you working towards those issues, how far do you think you have gotten out of 100%? And how do you think like you can help others that like kind of going through the same thing? Because I'm sure we open up to like the whole base of the universe as soon as we log into this internet world, right? So I'm sure somebody's out there. You know what I'm saying? Having those conflict, in the back of the mind. So with you, somehow you have experienced it and you have overcome it, not fully, but it's a process, right? And it's a continuous process. So how do you like combat with not going backwards?
Uh, in a simple term, staying busy. Uh, in a more complicated term, being happy with the things that are around me. So I'll explain both of those. The simple term is what I mean by staying busy is I ain't talking like just doing mindless work or doing stuff without purpose. Staying busy is if you have a goal or a task, and although you may feel like you're not worthy or not necessarily not worthy, you might not have an abundant mindset at the time because you feel like what it fun like financially or friendship wise, whatever it may be. Don't let that stop you from being busy. By meaning, don't let that stop you from trying to achieve what you want to have. So let's just say you're a person with money, but you have the broke mindset of, well, I don't have friends, but you want friends. So don't let your mindset of insecurities stop you from either trying to get friends or doing things that may lead you to having friends. So so for me, my broken mindset was like I didn't have money, and also I like making music and I like being creative and making YouTube videos, but I didn't have any people to do it consistently with. So the two things I try to do to combat it, and this is part of staying busy, is one, just work so I have money. Two, if I know that I want to do content creation, well, I know that I'm not going to always be hanging out with all my friends every single day to make content. So,
Unless they are content creators.
exactly. So I try to make my own content and generate some type of following or audience through what I can do on my own.
Kind of ambience within yourself, right? Some kind of enjoyment that can fulfill those
Yeah. So
voids.
yeah, so I feel more prepared when I'm with people. And then the being happy part is, um, we all put pressure on ourselves to accomplish things. Nobody told me that well, I guess they do through social media, but besides social media, I don't have to go out and get a Lambo, but I want a Lambo. But it doesn't mean that.
Why get a Lambo when you can get a camel? Hello. That's rich money.
That's funny. True, that's it. That is rich money. But by being happy, I mean like still work to try to get the Lamborghini, but at the same time, don't.
Well, work, but I think like that's, and it comes down to, and I think you have told us about your two subjects, right? And I think like that pretty much goes down to, like what fantasy and manifestation
Yeah.
are, so it's like, yes, we want the Lambo, we want the Lamborghini, and once you attain it, you don't know how shit might go, but we need those level of manifestation in our brain so we can excel just to see what life has to offer,
Yeah,
just to see things coming to fruition.
yeah. I was literally gonna get on that. I was gonna say yeah, because life has a lot of things to offer, and we can learn information through content and people around us. So like, not to be ungrateful of things around me, even if it's just a YouTube video that I'm watching, and they may be doing stuff I want to do or don't want to do, but like I can just be happy watching that video. That's a form of happiness. It's temporary happiness, and it's online, but don't use that as negativity towards myself to make myself feel like less. That's where I was going with that. So
Yeah, and in nowadays, if you do, then you really cannot accuse anyone because I feel like now any technical device are affordable. Like
facts.
before you had to go to Best Buy and put a payment plan down for like 10 years. I'm over exaggerating. I'm over exaggerating, but now like you can go on Amazon or whatever website you may discover Alibaba. And you can find like a bunch of other devices that are affordable. So that can be your starting kit, right? So by utilizing that, you get in tune with what works for you and what doesn't, opposed of not having equipment and just having a dream. You know, so now there should be no excuse. So you should regard someone's video, the work they're doing, and belittle them because at least they woke up and then they have the confidence to actually get on camera and put it out. So that takes a lot, right? Whether it's foolish or whatever, it takes a lot of confidence to sit out there and do that. And that might connect with somebody else that may not have confidence. They may connect with that for themselves to build that self confidence to be able to execute daily life exercises and be able to connect with society, etc.
etc. Which, hopefully I'm not moving too fast, but that kind of brings us to our second topic, which is social media influence and the effect of it on us, and also how we use it. So, right now we are on social media, and hey, I ain't gonna lie. I see a lot of not too many, but I see some content creators who have a much larger following, and they say, "Oh, don't be on your phones too much. Don't do this. Don't do that." I ain't gonna lie. I love social media. I'm constantly on my phone, constantly on the internet. I could be at a party and I probably scroll through Instagram at some point. So, what you feel about social media? Or what do you know about social media?
Uh, to be quite honest, it refrained me from waking up and watching porno because I just can open up Instagram instead of watching porno.
All right.
So that's how much power it has.
All right. Hey, I wouldn't say porn is necessarily social media, like the content itself. But if you think about it, even the websites, you can comment, you can talk. You can't necessarily talk to the porn stars.
Right, but it helps, like, cause usually as a man you wake up you horny, so you know, social now I wake up I go to social media, I look at all the TikToks view, and that's fulfill my needs. So I feel like it's essential. But then as a human being, you have to know how to refrain from it. So that become part of my daily activity. As soon as I wake up in the morning, I look at it, and then after that, get in the shower, prepare for my day, and then focus on it, and then send my messages, and then whenever I have free time, I reply, and then just, you know,
Kind of segment it out so you don't spend all day on.
yes, break it down periodically according to the day that I have going.
Yeah. I'm one of those people where unless I'm busy, like if I'm either at work, and if I'm not at work, if I'm not, or if I'm doing something on my computer, if I'm not on my computer or at work, I am probably on social media, scrolling, looking, and it don't keep me away from the porn sites. Double tapping, clicking on those OnlyFans links. You know what I'm saying? But that's just because that I just fell in love with social media just due to the fact that like there was a point where I didn't want to be on social media as much, and I still wanted to be in the creative field. So at this point in my life, I wasn't watching porn. I wasn't on social media because I had been heavy on it before. So I was like, I need to take a break. And I need to get away from it. So I appreciate God and I appreciate myself for being able to take that break. But at the same time, I was like, I thought at the time during my break, maybe I gave up too early. I thought during my break I would be so much more focused. I thought I was going to get so much more done during my day. And I thought I was going to be like this awesome person with my shit together. Um, I can't necessarily say that. Well, okay, so I did focus more and I did get a lot of stuff done, but I can't say that it made me. I was more busy or more productive without it. That's all I'm saying. Because now I feel like I'm in overdrive. Not overdrive. I'm going into overdrive. This is just the start of the overdrive, bringing in 2023.
Like you just moving fast, like you hitting that gas, you putting your foot on that pedal, like.
Because I didn't fell in love with it, and then when I didn't have it, I had the option to have it, but when I wouldn't look at my phone when I would wake up, and I wouldn't be on social media scrolling all day, and I wasn't watching porn, and I wasn't doing all that, I, it's not like I became more productive. Is what I'm saying.
This is out of our context, actually, guys. We haven't got into topic about pornographic, but fuck it, we already into it, right? We're gonna conclude it easily. So when it comes down to it, me, I have favorite women that I just watched, and it's probably like three or four, and I love watching girl play on girl using dildo. So now with you, do you just like porno just to like see? thousand women get banged, or is it like just for getting aroused and connection? Because I feel like with the women that I love the three selection, I have a connection with them. I know them, so it's like I can watch that series purely, and that's the only thing. And
That's a good question.
get off the topic after this.
Yeah, I guess we'll go back to social media after I answer this question. I don't know. I've been addicted to pornography since I was like maybe 10 or 11. So my mindset on it is a little different.
You are going through your pops catalogs.
No, I didn't live with my dad. I had got some DVDs from my older brother.
Oh hell no!
Took him out of his room.
Yeah, I knew how to hide your shit better, man. But that's good. You teach me how to. You taught him how to be a man.
It taught me
Or whatever he is about to say.
um, but that's just me. And do I watch it for like a connection or arousal? I battle with it every day because I really would rather have a connection with women in real life, and I like having connection with women in real life. But I also like the art of porn. I like the arousal, and I like the situations because it's not reality. Like every porn can be based off of reality, but it's still not. I mean, these are real people, but it's not real. And I think my brain is attracted to the fact that these aren't like it's probably real people. It's 8 billion people on Earth, so it's probably somebody's real life out there. But these are actors and these are scenes, so my brain is kind of like attracted to that. And I watch it for the women. And it's not that I necessarily want to see another guy bang a girl, but it's just like you get on the porn website and the type of woman you might be attracted to. To me, I feel like I'm supporting the sexual cause when I watch porn. That's it.
So you want to partner up with the owner of OnlyFans? Because he's a big supporter of those causes.
If St. Louis is like as free as LA, I would definitely be doing some stuff on camera. But at the same time, I really love trying to be smart and trying to be a creator in general outside of just sexual arts. But it's just like I said, it's just been in my life since I was super young. So like my brain is just kind of morphed around it. Do I think it's bad? I'm gonna say slightly. Do I think it's good? I'm gonna say I'm not sure.
But with you, you're able to have the balance, right? Because you cannot overdose, as we say, of things, right? So that's another.
Yeah, I'm not. Also, okay.
So it's like knowing that, like, even being young and having that discovery, you didn't fully dive into it like 100% to the point like it became your craving. You knew like, hey, okay, it's my craving, but how does it affect the other partner? Now let me learn how to have a balance and utilize my art. So that's what it comes down to: fantasy and manifestation. So everything is a fantasy. So if it's not tangible, then we pursue it, we excel.
Right.
But if it's tangible, then we done.
Like if it's right there, we can grab it.
Right.
That makes sense. I feel you. Do I feel like it's consumed me? I'll say yes and no, because I'm the only one that decides what kind of pressure I want to put on myself, how successful I want to be. So if I'm the one that, like, as long as I'm working and I'm paying my bills, if I decide that's what I want to do for 8 hours straight, I mean, that's not a chat, whatever. Don't think that I'm doing that for 8 hours straight. But I'm just saying, for instance, an example, if that was something I wanted to do, I have the freedom to do that. Just no matter what you do, there's a cause and effect and there's a consequence. So, you know, if I do decide to do that for 8 hours straight, I'm sacrificing my time on like learning how to do music or learning how to do this or that. So I try to find a balance. I'm not going to sit around the house jerking off all day, but I'm not going to also deprive myself of something that I like. So it's just that's my balance with it. It's just don't do it to the fact that I'm not able to build relationships with people and, you know, do the things that I care about, but also not have it completely out of my life. Because when I didn't have it in my life, it's not like I had crazy better results. Now I did have some very fun experiences with people, and I was able to like have a nice relationship at the time. Well, I can't even say
Nice connection.
yeah connection, but
Because relationship can be perceived as, I think relationship is just like it can be a fumble in a lot of ways. It's like it, I think connection because I've known you for years and I hear what you're saying. Like it's like the way we connect. It's like it help our aesthetic side as well.
yeah,
So it's not a relationship. It's more like a connection ship.
yeah, connection ship.
Yeah, shout out to that hashtag connection ship.
Connection ship. Hashtag connection ship.
You got it right here.
Connection
You
ship.
hear it here first. Worldly Integration Podcast.
Hey, big facts.
You heard it here first. Worldly Integration Podcast.
Well, back to
We want
social media
connection ship.
in
We
general.
want connection ships, guys.
Let's go. Do you feel pressure from social media to impress people or to fall into the social media circle? Because some content creators who actually have a nice following will literally be like, "Hey, man, you don't need to be on Instagram all day and blah blah blah." So, like, what's your take on that? Because I feel like that's a little oxymoron, right? People make money on that.
Yeah, I love that shit, motherfucker. I love that shit. That's the only thing that exists now. You know what I'm saying? It's like the beautiful thing about the economic system is it's always enhancing, it's always evolving. You gotta play catch up, buddy. The shit you were doing 10 years ago might not matter right now, so you have to adapt.
Yes, true.
So if that's what exists, and look at like everybody, young kids, everybody just like being able to buy their parents a house to live in. You know what I'm saying? Like prior to that, like we are like fucking planting corn.
Right. Working some job that we didn't think about another way out because we felt like that was the only way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I love that shit, man. It's like because you have to think about the person that creates social media spent a lot of time about creating the motherboard, the technical side of
True.
privacies and all of these, and how it can be user friendly. So those are hours spent for a human being that's a creator as well. So that's something he had in his head, and boom, that came into fruition as a physical device in a physical realm.
No, that's true. That like right there, that what he just said lies between our next topic and the topic we on right now, which is the fantasy and manifestation created through content. And hey, that's one of the main reasons I create content. Do I wish I was creating more content? Do I wish I was creating better content? Do I wish I had a better, bigger following? Is yes to answer to all those questions. But one thing I have noticed from creating content, you can have that fantasy aspect and you can manifest things into your life through that content, depending on how you want to do it, how you want to show your story. And I'm just in love with content in general right now. So, Kovaly, do you feel like you manifest things through your content, or do you feel like you have a message that you give people or teach people through what you make?
Yes, of course, and to be quite honest, when Instagram or even to be vague, whenever social media came around, that's why I started caring about my craft, right? Like, for instance, cooking, right? Like, Instagram came around, you had to post a picture. Now I have to cook and put the lettuce celery on top of my dish to finish it before I can take a picture and post it.
Okay.
So that turned me into professional.
Yeah, true. It makes you care about your craft more because you want people to perceive it in a good way.
Right. So when it was around first, I didn't know that's what it was doing. But what it helps me does, it's like a storage. It's like my journal.
Yeah.
It's like my life journey, so I can evolve and see what people doing. Like, oh man, that's interesting. Like everything is like everybody have like a a creative side out of them. Like even that everybody should get a light on them to shine because we all need to exist, whether it's foolish or not. Like you can be working in a complex gig, right?
Yes.
And you'll be watching something very, not don't it make you laugh? You know what I'm saying? You'd be like a kid somewhere just having the best time of their life, just running around in the snow or whatever it may be, and that'll get you laughing. And then now you can walk in that conference room and go kill that whole presentation. You know?
Oh wow, that's a whole different perspective I never thought of like that at all.
Yeah. So everything needs to exist the way I perceive it. You know, like it's like how do you? Because everything, the the happier you are, it's like cause you manifesting something.
Yeah, I feel like when I watch content and when I see other people watch content, I feel like content is a reflection of your mind and it's a reflection of yourself. If that makes any sense to the people out there. Basically what I'm saying is like no matter what you watching, it could be like a reflection of your mind. There are people who watch I don't watch horror, but there are people out here they will watch a horror.
Horror movies.
Yeah, they will watch a horror movie.
Horror
Hor-
because
horror. Okay.
I was camping in the horror house. I have a horror story
I watch
for you
horror movies.
horrible
Yeah.
people.
Horror,
Nah, hey guys, man, JK joking,
JK.
not John Kennedy.
Something.
Pew. Bars, nigga.
Bars. But basically, it's like the reason content exists is so you can, I guess, have certain types of emotions or certain types of understandings of the world that you can receive through like a digital version or like a version that's necessarily not necessarily there physically with you. So it gives you that fantasy element, which is why I said like because I was hanging out with these people. There's a pool party, great pool party. Uh, Shout out to Sushi. He's pretty awesome. He's a St. Louis rock star. He plays guitar, so y'all should check him out one day. What up? So, oh yeah, for sure. So one day I was hanging out with him and some of his friends that at the party they went inside and watched the scary movie, and then they came out just totally fine. I'm the type of person I don't want to watch that. I don't like being in that mindset because I feel like although I'm not really there, it's still like reflecting something into my mind. I feel like my mind is placing itself in the position of those characters. So therefore, I didn't want to put my mindset in that place. So when I watch content, I watch things that reflect the fantasy or manifestation of things that I want in my life. And I'm not saying that those people have like scary things going on in their life. I'm not saying that. It's just they might be comfortable for them, but I choose what I choose to watch because of I want that to reflect on me or I want that to be part of my manifestation. So content is a new thing out here nowadays and we all trying to catch a balance with it because everybody not everybody everyone's like you spend less time watching TV or doing this or that, but then at the same time we keep coming out with new shows, we keep coming out with new stuff. So
And shout out to Netflix, yo. Y'all keep me lit.
yeah, Netflix.
Also Amazon,
Yeah,
man.
for
I'm
sure.
I'm a Amazon Prime subscriber, so I love going through Amazon and watch that animated series and all of those episodes, etc. You know what I mean? I love it, and I think that allowed us to be freelancer. But go ahead.
For sure. No, I was just gonna ask you a question. I was just gonna say, knowing that there's all types of content out here, from just like regular TikTok videos to full production movies, what do you really think? Like, why do you think we make this content? And what do you think it does to us as a viewer or a creator? If you can answer all three.
What does it do to us as creators?
Like, first, why are we creating all this?
As I stated earlier, man, I love the fact that we're able to create this because it's pretty much like we're writing our own history and we're able to have a storage that's so massive that we can put it on. That database is it's inevitable because it's like it's gonna connect with somebody where it can channel a part of that idea that they needed to create what they dream of creating. So all of it is beautiful, and also as I view it, it's like the the more you see, I feel like that's a great thing because if you don't see it, then it's like you're losing in life for real because you're not really living. So if I'm able to see good, bad, malicious, whatever, all the above, that mean I have spin around the globe thousand times already because I don't expect
Mentally.
just to see
Yeah.
one beautiful thing because then I haven't real. That's one cycle,
Yeah.
So that's how I perceive it for my own self adjustment.
Do you think it's do you think like it's having a negative effect on people, or do you think it's actually helping people? Because we have all types of content from, like I said, from simple TikTok videos to full production movies. Like,
Yeah, it could be easily addictive. Like I would say just be don't be too much of a consumer, right? So even like if you viewing it, at some point your brain is gonna be like, hey, why don't I just go ahead and press record and become part of
oh,
the
like
ninety
create.
nine
Yeah.
percent.
Yeah.
So I said that's what I said to those people. So don't think of it as like anything pessimistic. Just view it as like, cause I think like everybody don't have that confidence pressing that record button, cause it could be just as simple just pressing record and you watching those videos like, hey, I'm watching these videos and put it out, and then you become part of that algorithm. So don't feel
Algorithm.
selfish. Don't feel like not selfish, but no, feel what's the appropriate word to utilize. Like don't feel.
I need to upgrade my vocabulary. I was gonna say insecure. I don't know.
Yeah, don't feel insecure and just like have some sort of confidence within yourself. And like, even if people say, like, oh, you are part of those videos that just view things, yes, you are, but overall, don't be insecure not to press a record button to record your own self so they can see
Who you
you
are?
evolve
Yeah.
as you watching it. So just don't be 100% of a consumer, because overall, a consumer become the most knowledgeable person that can become the boss.
The boss. I feel like, cause like I said, there's so much content, and some content I don't watch, cause I either don't know about it or I may not be comfortable with the what's in the content. But uh, I think we all do this, and we all like watching it because it has some type of value, and it teaches us something, or it helps us to maneuver through life, or maybe it connects with a feeling that we have eternally. So I feel like when I'm watching content, the stuff that I choose to watch, it's because it has some type of connection of my fantasy side of my brain, and it also has some connection with uh maybe the life I want to live or currently live a little bit. So that's how I've been feeling about that. And I guess we should go to our last topic, you know, while we still got time. And and that's how wealth is perceived. And it's kind of a vague statement.
Well, it's sort of vague, but it kind of conclude what we started off with the topic of like having a broke mindset. But even with the body of work that we had, it's like to conclude it. That's how wealth is perceived, right? Because I feel like everything we just spoke of, there is no dispute about that's what build health, and that's how you perceive it. Because it's not about having tangible stuff. It's like you can overly have way too much of one thing without knowing the other part of things and having balances. So I feel like yeah, this pretty good way to conclude it. It's that's how wealth is perceived. Like us, I think at the end of the day, that's pretty much what we all striving for. Like we want an outcome. An outcome is the ching ching dollar dollar bill, y'all.
Hey, get that cash.
Hey, cream, get the money, dollar dollar bill, y'all. Hello, yo, guys. Thank you very much. This is a pilot episode of Worldly Integration. Uh, Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe. Let us know
Big vibes.
topics that we should be having. Comment below, please. Thank you,
Comment
Tweet.
below.
Thank you, YouTube. And we're gonna,
Please
you know,
like and subscribe.
yes. And I'm out. I'm Kovaly Kavv. You can find me on any platform. Instagram at Kovaly Kavv, and that's Kovaly KAVV on all social media: Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, Google, especially just Google Kovaly. And shout out to my family, my brother that tuned in, Young Kovaly in New York doing his thing and handling that Kovaly design and doing the most important part of the business as well. And shout out to Miko, Dimitrov, Demo, Sasha, all of you guys. Pentagon, clap, 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 Pentagon, yo.
Let's go. Life A1, told y'all in the beginning. You could Google search this, my name right here that's on my shirt. I'm going to pop up. You can also find me on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, all that. Trying to get my following up, trying to get my stats up. This is the pilot episode, so we definitely going to be doing more, and we will have other guests on at some point. So we hope y'all definitely like what we just did, and please like, subscribe, leave some comments. Say what you got to say in the comments. I almost don't care what you got to say.
But please comment.
Yes.
And please be constructive.
Constructive. I'm not going to lie. I'm one of them people.
Okay, be rude, nigga. I'll go fuck.
Yeah,
You see, this nigga, you like my shit, yo. My homegirl made it, yo. Like, she let it be quit if I get down them right. But if you guys like it and comment on it, I can tag her on it so you guys can, holler at her. You know what I'm saying? She hooked it up, and of course I have the free sample on,
Hey, free sample. Shout out to the St.
Shout
Louis
out
creators.
to free sample, shout out to all the SCL guys that are doing that thing, Young Fred, he have that new music video coming. So shout out to everyone that's doing that thing, man. Peso, everybody, you know what I'm saying? 30 Deep Grimy, Theo, Free Sample, that's my guys, you know what I'm saying? Love.
Hey, I wish I had more people to shout out. But you know what? Shout out to my brother. Shout out to my family. Shout out my mom, my dad. I do got a lot of friends out here in St. Louis, but hey, I'm still trying to build closer relationships. So shout out to everybody.
And like that, we out. See you next episode. Thank you for tuning into the Worldly Integration Podcast.
Let's go.
Ciao. Deuce, deuce.
Ciao.